you can't help it every once in a while step back and go, I cannot believe I get to do this.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Up next for Second Stage Theater is Mother Play by Pulitzer Prize winner Paula Vogel. Under the direction of Tina Landau, it welcomes back to Broadway Jessica Lange, Jim Parsons, and Celia Keenan-Bolger. And I caught up with all of them during a break in rehearsal.
You know, there are not a lot of mother plays written by women, and I understand why. There's the guilt, there's the understanding of how hard it is for women. But there's also a deep desire for me to pay homage and look at this incredible woman in my life. Now, of course, when I say it's semi-autobiographical, there's a lot of poetic license in this. And by the way, there's also a ballet with cockroaches. Growing up, I was growing up below the poverty line, so the cockroaches were constant companions. And I thought, why not? Let's have them along too.
What a cast you have put together. Talk about your three incredible actors you're working with.
They're extraordinary, each in their own right, but also how they've bonded as a family. We were fortunate to do a workshop a couple months ago, and they've come together in such a beautiful way, and it's such a gift as a director because I really can sit back, let them do their thing, and edit, if you will. They're extraordinarily creative and funny, but also come with such depth and are giving the play resonances in ways that I never expected.
Having Paula in the room, what is that like? I've known Paula forever. I adore her.
Yes, she's great. No, I mean, for me, that's a brand new experience because I've done Williams and I've done him several times in New York and in London. I've done Eugene O'Neill, also in New York and London. But this is a brand new experience for me to work on a new play, to have the playwright there, making adjustments, and it's a living thing. It's a living, breathing experience, and it's great. It's wonderful.
Talk about being in the room with Jim and Celia and finding this play together.
Yeah, that too has been an extraordinary experience. I mean, I have loved working with them from the very first day, and they are both so emotionally available, and I think we have a common language as actors. Everything about it, knock on wood, has been a joy.
There's nothing like theater in general, but there is nothing like being in a rehearsal room. I mean, once you check in, you are in there all day, you're around everybody. I love how there's nowhere to go off and hide. Every piece of work that's done in the room, whether you're directly involved or not, affects you in some way. There's no other work I do that's quite that level of fulfilling at the end of every day.
So talk about that first table read. I love to talk to actors and directors, like when you're sitting with your cohorts and you hear the words come off the page. What was the first table read like this like for you?
Oh, well, I was nervous.
Were you?
Well, I admire Jessica and Celia. I admire Jessica, Celia, Paula, and Tina all so much. I want to kiddingly say, I just want to make sure I wasn't fired. I didn't really feel that vibe in the room. I didn't think they were going to be like, oh, God. And, they had decided. But I did. It just felt like, I don't know what word to use. Yeah. Like the ones that are coming are not right. Like it felt important. It felt big. It felt, but there was just a lot, I was so honored. I still feel that. So honored to be a part of it, You kind of have to put blinders on and go, all right, it's Paula Vogel. All right, Jessica Lange's talking to me in a scene. Celia's holding my hand. It's like, let it go. Yeah. But you can't help it every once in a while step back and go, I cannot believe I get to do this.
Well, Paula has been talking about this play to me for a long time. I did very early readings of Indecent and was so moved by her spirit of collaboration, and I just really hoped that someday we would get to work together and she would, I would see her and she would say, I'm working on something. And I thought, well, I wonder what that's going to be. And then she sent me this script. And of course, the truth is, even if it was like the worst thing I had ever read, which of course it wasn't, I would have signed up because I just think Paula is one of the great playwrights of our time. And so to be able to be a part of an original piece that she's written is very, very meaningful to me. I've never been a part of a production, let alone a Broadway production, where the writer and the playwright and the star were all women over 60. And I think the wisdom of these women who have made so many plays, who are such essential creative spirits, just to be in the presence of that wisdom and that experience has been transformative for me. And then, of course, Jim, everybody said, like, oh my God, you're just going to love him so much. And I was like, oh, I'm so curious to see. We have a lot of friends in common. And they were right. I mean, he's not only a really extraordinary artist, but he's also, again, like his spirit of collaboration, of I don't want to say positivity because it sounds so pat, but I do think it's easy in these processes when you're making something new to get sort of caught up in like, how's it going to be received and will people like it? And of course, I think we care about that, but I think Jim just keeps bringing me back to the making of it and how important that part is. And so that feels, I'm really happy that he's a part of this.
Having it done at second stage, what it means to you.
It means the world to me. Carol Rothman was the first person in New York, 1979, to give me time and talk to me about my plays. That's how long we've known each other. I am so grateful for Second Stage that they give such space and importance to living American playwrights. We can never, ever lose this theater.